Everyone keeps telling you to stop buying coffee. Skip the latte. Save the $5. Become a millionaire. And honestly, if that advice has been working for you, fantastic. But the truth is, blaming your daily coffee run for your financial situation is a little bit like blaming a leaky faucet for a flooded basement. There is something much bigger going on, and nobody is talking about it clearly enough. Today we are going to fix that. I am going to walk you through the 3 actual things that are quietly draining your wealth right now, and more importantly, what you can do about each one starting today. Stick around because the third one is the one that surprises most people, and it might be the most expensive mistake you are currently making without even realizing it. Let us get into it. Number 1 is your car, and before you roll your eyes, hear me out because this goes way deeper than just your monthly payment. Most people think about car ownership in terms of that single number, the payment, the thing they agreed to when they signed the paperwork. But the real cost of owning a vehicle is an entirely different conversation. When you add up depreciation, insurance, fuel, registration fees, maintenance, and repairs, you are looking at expenses that can easily exceed $10,000 every single year. For one car. That is not a luxury vehicle either. We are talking about a practical, sensible, everyday car. The kind people drive thinking they are being responsible. Here is where it gets really painful. The moment you drive a brand new car off the lot, you lose somewhere between 10 and 15% of its value immediately. Not over time, immediately. You have not even made it home yet and your asset has already started shrinking. This is called depreciation, and it is the single biggest cost most car owners never properly account for. The sweet spot if you do need to buy a vehicle is to look at something that is already 3 to 5 years old. At that point, the steepest part of that depreciation curve has already happened. Someone else absorbed that hit. You get a car that is still reliable and still relatively modern, but you are not paying the premium for something that loses thousands of dollars the second it leaves the lot. And what about insurance? Most people set it up and forget about it for years. That is money left on the table. Different insurers compete aggressively for your business, and making a few phone calls once a year to compare rates can genuinely save you hundreds of dollars annually without changing a single thing about your coverage. Put it on your calendar right now. Once a year, shop your insurance. It takes an afternoon, and the payoff is real. The deeper question, though, is opportunity cost. Every dollar tied up in an expensive vehicle is a dollar that cannot grow for you somewhere else. When money sits in a depreciating asset instead of a growing one, the gap between where you are and where you want to be gets wider every single year. That is the thing the coffee conversation completely misses. Number 2 is bad debt, and this one is personal. Debt has somehow become so normalized in modern life that people barely flinch at it anymore. Credit cards for groceries, financing for furniture, buy now, pay later for things that will be irrelevant in 6 months. The systems are designed to feel painless because the pain comes later, quietly, in the form of interest charges that compound against you month after month. The average credit card interest rate sits around 22%. Think about that number for a second. If you are carrying a balance on a card with that rate, you are essentially paying a massive premium on everything you bought. That blouse, that weekend trip, those electronics, they all cost significantly more than their price tag because interest is quietly being added to the total. The rewards and cashback percentages these cards advertise are completely wiped out the moment you carry a balance. The companies offering those perks are not doing it out of generosity. They are doing it because they know a significant portion of users will not pay their full balance every month. And that is where the real money is made. The rule worth adopting here is straightforward. If you cannot afford to buy something with the cash you actually have right now, that is a strong signal that you are not ready to buy it yet. That does not mean you can never have nice things. It means building toward them intentionally rather than letting interest charges quietly erode your financial foundation. The goal is to use credit as a tool, not as a bridge between your income and your lifestyle expectations. Getting out of bad debt requires confronting it directly. Write it all down. Every card, every balance, every interest rate. Seeing those numbers in black and white has a psychological effect that vague awareness simply does not. Once it is visible, it becomes manageable. Once it is manageable, you can build a plan to eliminate it systematically. Every dollar you free from interest payments is a dollar you can redirect toward actually building something. Number 3 is the one that genuinely keeps people poor for decades, and it is the gap between what you earn and what you actually do with it. Most people operate in a simple cycle. Money comes in, expenses go out, whatever survives at the end of the month gets saved, if anything survives at all. This is sometimes called paying yourself last, and it is one of the most quietly destructive financial habits that exists. Here is the problem with that approach. There is always something to spend money on. Life constantly generates new expenses, new social plans, new bills, new small purchases that feel reasonable in the moment. If you wait until after all of that to save, saving becomes whatever is left over, and too often, whatever is left over is nothing. The habit that actually works is treating your savings like a bill that gets paid first, before anything else. The moment your paycheck arrives, a portion of it goes directly toward your future, minimum 10%, before your rent, before your subscriptions, before you even think about the weekend. You take it off the table immediately. But saving alone has a ceiling. There is only so much you can cut before you hit zero. The other side of the equation, the one most people ignore because it feels harder, is growing your income. The potential there is unlimited. Whether that means asking for a raise you genuinely deserve, developing a skill that commands higher rates, building a side income stream in your area of expertise, or investing consistently so that your money generates returns while you sleep. The income side of this equation has no cap. Saving nickels is valuable. Growing your earning power is transformational. There is also something called lifestyle inflation, and it sneaks up on almost everyone. You get a raise, so you move somewhere slightly more expensive. You earn more, so your habits quietly shift upward to match. Before long, you are making significantly more than you were 5 years ago, and somehow saving the same percentage, or less. The antidote is intentionality. Know your numbers. Know exactly what is coming in, what is going out, and where the gaps are. The people who consistently build wealth are not always the highest earners. They are the ones who maintain clarity about their financial picture and make deliberate decisions rather than drifting along with whatever their income allows in the moment. And the compound effect of investing early cannot be overstated. Every year you delay is not just a year of missed growth, it is a year of missed growth on your growth. The longer that money has to work, the more powerful the effect becomes. Leaving savings sitting idle in a regular bank account while inflation reduces its purchasing power every year is a slow financial leak. Getting that money into investments, even conservative ones, even small amounts, starts the engine running. So to pull this all together, forget the coffee. The three things genuinely keeping you poor are carrying more car than you can truly afford when you factor in every cost involved, living with bad debt that compounds against you silently every single month, and spending everything you earn without a deliberate strategy to pay yourself first and grow your income over time. These are not small problems with small solutions. They are structural habits that either work for you or against you every single day. The good news is that none of this requires perfection. It requires awareness and then small, consistent decisions that add up to something significant over time. If this video gave you even one thing to act on today, that is worth more than cutting your coffee. Drop in the comments which of these three hits closest to home for you. And if you want to go deeper on any one of these topics, there is a lot more on this channel. Hit subscribe so you do not miss what is coming next.